Hey, Ms. Huckabee. Okay. First, I want to say thank you, Mr. Coach Layrock, for doing this interview with me. First, who or what influenced you to choose this career path?
Well, I don't know that any one person actually influenced this, but just, as going through a high school and had a few coaches there that tried to get us to work out, and at that time it was kind of a thing you didn't do because it must be a basketball game and that kind of stuff. But there was some guys there that kind of influenced me, and then as you kind of go through it, I really enjoyed working out, and that's probably the one thing that really pushed me toward the strength and conditioning.
You just really just enjoyed the whole aspect of it?
The whole aspect of doing it, making yourself better every day, the challenge.
The mental discipline it brings. Okay. Question number 2, how long have you been working in this field?
I've been a head strength and conditioning coach at Perryville High School. This is the 7th year. So it's something I've done my entire career as far as getting ready for this. But as far as working out, doing different types of workouts, looking at different angles of how people do things, those kind of things. But I've been here 7 years.
Okay. How many years, do you think would have culminated into this spot right here?
Oh, probably all the way from maybe even back to high school, 30 years.
30
because
years?
it's just been kind of an ongoing building thing. I've never stopped working out throughout that period. Maybe a month or two at a time, but overall pretty consistent throughout it.
Okay. Okay. What advice would you give someone hoping to also pursue your same career path?
It'd be something that I think they're going to really enjoy, but the main thing I would tell them is be open-minded to other things, but also be a little bit skeptical of other things. So, just because something's new.
Just readily accept things just
right,
because it's
just
trend.
because it's something, the new trend doesn't mean it's actually something that works.
Okay.
And that's one thing I do. Anything that I put our athletes through, I go through myself to make sure.
Because you're not just going to put somebody in a random routine.
Right. You've got to make plans, and you've got to look at that individual or that specific sport and figure out exactly what they are doing. You've got to study their movements and that kind of thing, and then put a plan together that will help enhance that movement.
You can't just copy and paste a workout for all athletes just across the board. Cool. Okay. What is one thing that only people in your field would know, or what is one thing that you feel like you would become a near specialist at? Maybe?
I think it's technique. You can go tell a guy to go do a squat, and then they go do it, but if they're not doing it correctly, or maybe a running technique or whatever it is, you got to really check people's form, and I mean get real specific with it, and then try to train them and teach them so that they can understand what you're talking about and then perform it exactly the way you want it done.
So maybe this app, you get to a point maybe where you, instead of looking at someone when they go to squat, instead of just seeing a squat, you see okay, maybe you should lead with your hips first instead of bending at the knees you kind of are. Maybe you should work on keeping your lower back straight, things like that.
All the little bitty technique things that a lot of people you don't think about. They just go do it, and then they get hurt because they didn't do it correctly.
What is a typical day for you in terms of waking up, daily plan?
Just a daily plan for myself. Of course, I get up early, prepare my breakfast, eat, those type of things, kind of get my mind. I usually give myself about 30 to 45 minutes just to kind of sit and plan my day.
Make sure you're on top of everything.
Make sure I'm ready to go, know what I've got coming in that day, what athletes are coming in, what strength and conditioning class I'll be doing that morning. Just kind of go over things in my mind and even sometimes on paper.
Sleep
and then and plan my day out.
Okay. So you like to be very structured in
very
what you're
structured,
doing?
yeah. The more structured, I think, the better you do.
What is a common misconception about strength and conditioning?
I think a lot of people just think it's easy to do. I think they just come up with the idea, oh, you just go do a workout. Well, there's a lot more to it than just doing a workout.
One working out is about 40% of it.
Yeah. They don't think about the nutrition side of it, the sleep part of it, the mental preparation for all of it, the little things that you just kind of take for granted, but you've really got to plan those out too. And then nutrition for most athletes to get to where they want to be performance-wise is about 70–80%.
Oh yeah, well they think, that's all. I mean, I know multiple people that came up to me during high school talking about wanting to take steroids, wanting to try this.
Quick fix.
Buddy, you're not eating more than 1,200 calories a day, I promise you.
Yeah.
Count that school lunch, 400 calories, maybe.
You got to really plan your meals out, and we try to put them every 3 hours where you're taking something in.
Try to keep the metabolism going, moving. Okay. What are core traits necessary to perform your job every day?
Do what now?
What are core traits necessary to?
I think just the basic knowledge and knowing exactly what you want to do and how you're going to do it. And again, being real structured and planned out, not just winging at the hip, but knowing what's coming up and who you've got coming in, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, how you're going to attack each of those, those type of things.
Okay. What, if any, are some major frustrations for you in this field? What things you would possibly do?
The biggest frustration for me is probably just the nutrition side of it, where people don't understand how to eat. They try to outwork a bad eating habit, and they put hours in on the workouts, and they're not seeing the results they want, and then they go back and they get frustrated. Whereas if they'll just follow the eating plans we put out there for them and really focus on that along with the workouts, they get great results.
Oh yeah. And it's even weirder is whenever they finally start, after like a week of actually eating right, and you try to go and you like don't eat breakfast or something, 2 hours in you're dying of hunger. Like
starving. The body gets used to those things. If you're feeding it every 3 hours, it expects that meal.
It gets used to getting that energy source and not having to use what's already on you. How has the career path changed or altered since you entered it?
I think there's more to just more than just lifting weights now. You do a lot of explosive training, the dynamic stretch, the core workouts. We spend more time on those things. We try to get everything in our workouts a little bit related back to core, because that's
health, not just so much lifting weights, but
right.
Being healthy.
Being healthy all the time, being fit, not necessarily being skinny, but being fit, being able to function daily and have a good source of energy all day long. Those type of things have changed a lot, where it used to just be go lift weights, you're done.
Exactly. Like, for example, like the inchworm, like that's not a weightlifting movement, but you do that every day before you wake up. Improve your flexibility, core strength in general.
Actually, our dynamic stretch is almost a workout inside of the workout.
You do it right.
You do it right.
You're drenched.
You're drenched. You're warmed up, ready to go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I miss this class. What are any qualifications and certifications that you would need, or that you would recommend to assist in strength conditioning?
Well, physical education degree, the exercise science degree, those are all on the right track. And then there's lots of personal training degrees out there. I did the NASM just because I felt like it was the most complete. It really did a good job of looking over everything. You can get them a lot real cheap, or you can go a little more expensive, but you just need to get one that's really quality. And a lot of gyms accept if you want to try to work in a gym.
Okay. Do you just have any just kind of quick advice for me?
I just think you enter this job, but it's not a get-rich-quick type of thing. It is a good paying job if you get in the right spots. But I think the rewards of seeing people reach their fitness goals outweighs the money side of it big time.
You get to work out and get paid.
You get to work out to get paid, but you got to create that time for that too. But you also, you get, when you see somebody, like I've got one lady that's lost over 115 pounds.
That's amazing.
And they goes from, she just dropped a person where she can function normally in a day without being dead tired. Her workouts first started with 20 minutes. And she was dead. And now she could go an hour and a half and have a great workout and not worry about it.
Still, like, some people think, like, they walk into a gym, they've never been to them before, start working out, get really tired, like, oh, they'll go for an hour, okay, and they've never been to the gym, go for an hour, destroy themselves. That'll last a week, maybe, and they'll quit, they'll burn out, they'll just say, screw it.
They get overwhelmed. If you go sit in a gym, a lot of times you can just sit there and watch, and people have no idea what they're doing. That's the one thing I've noticed more than anything. They'll watch John over here do something, they'll go do it, and then they see Billy do something, they'll go do that. They don't have a plan.
Random body parts.
Random body parts.
Machines.
Conversations all the time on their phone a lot. The intensity levels are really low a lot of times. That's just your general person walking in. And that's where they need the guidance of someone of you or me.
And vice versa, I've also seen many trainers that didn't look like they needed to be training anybody, like they needed to be doing their own thing first.
Right. I think that as a trainer, you owe it to yourself to be in shape.
Do you think you should be in shape? Or you're going to try to tell? I do.
It's hard for me to buy what somebody's telling me to do if they're 50, 60 pounds overweight, they're just out of
Yeah,
shape,
they're
and
trying to
they're
help
gonna try to tell me how to get in shape. I have a hard time buying that. You know, I walk in and somebody's in shape, I'm listening. What are
Okay.
you doing to make yourself get to where you're at?
I want to know what you're doing. Like,
Right.
exactly. Well, that's all I have. Thank you very much for the,
You bet, Alex.
for the time.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.